going to be starting the session. So hello, MBLA parents and students. You are logging into the session, the Dental Hygiene Program by Foothill College. If you're not in the right session, please return to the Countdown website for the right link. Today, Christian Brennan, Allison Jamaichi, and Truc Nguyen are joining us from Foothill Dental Hygiene Program as instructor and students. Okay, so take it away, Christian, Allison, and Truc.
Hello. So I'm going to ask Allie to share our PowerPoint slide. We are educators at the School of Dental Hygiene at Foothill College, which is a community college, which was voted best in California. I was very proud of that news article recently. So it's a great college, whether you go there for dental hygiene or just get your college prerequisites for any degree. It's a great transferred college. So on the next slide, I think we have our program director. So Patty Chan helped put this PowerPoint together. So I wanted to leave her in the PowerPoint. And she basically runs the show at our school. So we love her. She's amazing. And on the next couple of slides, we're just going to go over our bios. So basically our education. Allie's going to talk just briefly about Jennifer Light. You want to take it, Allie?
Yes. So this is Jennifer Light. She's in charge of the first year dental hygiene students. And she actually graduated from the Foothills Dental Assisting and Hygiene program. And she's also a registered dental hygienist in alternative practice, meaning she completed additional education and she can work independently providing hygiene services. That's super cool.
So this is me. I graduated from Sarah High School in San Mateo, and then I went to San Francisco State, where I got my bachelor's, but I didn't know what I wanted to do after college. So I ended up going back to college and I went into dental hygiene because healthcare is just a really good field. Whatever you decide, if you want to work in dentistry or other careers, I would say health fields are really good careers to consider for long-term career options.
And this is me. I graduated almost 2 years ago from the hygiene program. And I went to UC Davis first. And then I also didn't know what I really wanted to do. And then I found out I really enjoyed the dental field. So I went to the Hills program. And then now I'm actually starting to help as a first year clinic tutor with the first year dental hygiene students. And also work in private practice.
Before I go on, I would like to mention Truc Nguyen, who's also here. She's awesome. She is, she basically runs our clinic, honestly. And anytime I don't know where to get something, she's there and she's here now. And if you're a student who's trying to figure out what to do in life, I will tell you the most important thing is just showing up. So it shows that you care and it shows that you know people who you can help, and she's just awesome. So is dentistry right for you? So when I was in high school, I didn't think dentistry at all. I didn't think about it. You know, I went to get my teeth cleaned. I had some fillings, but it was only after I went to college where I thought about more in depth about things that I might consider for a career. So one of those things is, are you interested in healthcare? Which is really about giving back to other people and helping other people have good teeth, good smiles, good health. I think it's a pretty great career because you're helping other people. Are you interested in teeth and health and biology? I was not necessarily into biology before I went into dentistry, but it's actually very, very interesting field if you think about all the different facets of healthcare. You know, there's so much you can do in healthcare. Do you like working with your hands? So I'm not very good with like big tools. I don't like hammers. I don't like building large construction projects, but I think I'm very good with small things. So working with small instruments. I've always loved art. And I think if you like working with your hands or you want something a little more interactive with people, I think dentistry is really good for you. One thing before I went into dentistry, I was kind of interested in engineering, but then I thought about it and I thought, I want to work with people more. I want to work with my hands more. So dentistry is very much hands-on. And I would say it's very social. Do you like talking to people? I'm actually introverted, but I actually really like people. So I like hanging out with my office and I like getting to know my patients. It's extremely social and you get to know a lot of people. What's the next slide?
There you go. So as a hygienist, you have lots of opportunities. You can work in a private practice, which means it's just privately owned by a dentist or a clinic. You can work with the city, state, or in prisons as well. You can sell different products, different hygiene products or dental products, sorry, to different offices, just promoting different aids and anything like that. You can work for insurance companies, and you can also go into teaching after hygiene, like what we chose. Okay, and next slide.
So some of the things that a dental hygienist actually does every day is we remove tartar, stain, and plaque, which basically means we're cleaning off your teeth. But it really means we're removing infections from your mouth, because we always have these little infections that cause our gums to bleed if they are overwhelming, if we're not brushing enough. We apply sealants and fluoride. So this protects our teeth from cavities. We take x-rays, which is actually kind of fun because you get to analyze x-rays and you understand what an x-ray means, and you can look at the bone behind the gums and underneath the flesh and tissue. So it's really interesting to work in dentistry, I think. We are definitely teachers, even if you work in an office. If you're not at a school, you're still a teacher, because a big role of a dental hygienist is educating patients on how to improve their health, not just their teeth, but their overall health. We are extremely educated in so many different things, not just teeth, but if you go to school for this, you'll also get an education in so many things: heart disease, lung disease, you name it, because it's all related. We talk a little bit about dietary habits with patients, because that will affect the teeth. We place interim therapeutic restorations as dental hygienists, which is a little bit like doing fillings, like a dentist might do a filling if you have a cavity. We also do local anesthesia, which is another way of saying we give shots. We do nitrous oxide, which I think a lot of you might know as laughing gas. And we do a lot of computer data entry and work in lots of different software. And there's a lot of technology involved in dentistry, but it's definitely focused on patient care and working with your hands.
So as hygienists, we have many different tools that we use. We use hand instruments, which are very sharp. There's a picture on the upper right corner of some hand instruments. They're all bent differently. They have different functions. We also use power instruments and ultrasonic technologies. So if any of you gotten your teeth cleaned, sometimes the hygienist will use a ultrasonic scaler, which is like a fancy water pick. So that's an example of ultrasonic technology. Again, we use X-ray machines to look at any decay that's present or bone loss. So just another assessment to help get an overall look of our patient's oral health. And again, we use different aids just to educate our patients on improving their oral health. Most of the time we go over brushing techniques, flossing techniques, or just anything that will help better themselves. And then fluoride products and restorative materials, like what Professor Brennan said. And we use the computer a lot for charting all of our assessments, our notes, and then looking at x-rays and patient's gum health and all that. So nowadays, a lot of it is digital, which is very nice.
So what is the working environment like? I think you have all hopefully been to a dental office. If not, please come to our school and get a cleaning. But there's approximately 250,000 dental hygienists in the US. That's a lot, but we actually need more to provide enough care for the entire population. I think the United States population is somewhere around 380 million, something like that, if I remember right. Most dental hygienists do work in a private dental office, so it's very much a small business model. We work with dentists, dental assistants, and other dental healthcare providers. So both Ali and myself work in an office as well as teaching, which is great because it gives us a lot of diversity in our schedules and our day-to-day lives. I'm working in a periodontal practice, which is a specialization for gum health, which has been really fun. We're next door to an endodontist, and we refer out to orthodontics for braces. And it's a lot of interesting things going on in healthcare and dentistry. If it's a fun environment, I think that's my final point.
So PPE and disease prevention. So PPE is personal protective equipment, as you guys probably all know. And so as hygienists, this is super important. And one of the first things that we learn as hygiene students. So it's really important for us to protect ourselves, protect our patients, and protect others from spreading disease. So we gear up with safety glasses, masks, shields, gowns, gloves, all that. So we're pretty much all covered just so we can protect ourselves because there are a lot of aerosols flying around everywhere when we're working in our patients' mouths. So yeah, this is very important just to keep everyone and yourself safe.
So the work schedule of a dental hygienist is actually one of the best things because you basically work as much or as little as you want in this career. Before I was a dental hygienist, I worked different jobs like waiting tables and working in broadcasting and production, like television stuff. And a lot of those jobs, you work the weekends and you work long hours. But if you work in dentistry, you're really only going to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And you don't have to work Monday through Friday. You could work Mondays, Tuesdays, and have the rest of the week off, or work as much or as little as you want, because the demand for this field is so high that you can find work tomorrow, or if you want to take a month off, you can, or if you want to work 6 days a week, including some of your weekends, you can. So there's a lot of flexibility in the work schedule for a dental hygienist. And yeah, I think that's it.
And it's nice because you don't take work home with you. It's
Oh,
nice.
that's really nice, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't. Like, you can't
Yeah.
take someone's mouth home with you. It's once you're done, you're done. You clock out, and yeah.
Okay, so as hygienists, all hygienists need to be licensed, and typically they need an associate's degree. But there's some programs that offer bachelor degrees, like Foothill's program. And if you're interested in teaching or doing any research or working in school health systems, then you most likely will need a master's. So if you're looking into one of those fields, then that's probably for you. And we do have to take a lot of science classes. So all the anatomy series, bio series, chem series, and social sciences. So those are just a few of the main science topics that we learn about.
So some of the qualities of dental hygienists are compassion, detail oriented, good dexterity, good hands, interpersonal skills, which is really about being a good communicator, and physical stamina. We do work pretty long days. It's an 8-hour day typically, but a lot of hygienists actually work closer to 9 or 10 hours a day, because the days just go long. You have to clean up and do your chart notes after. So you need a little bit of stamina. But I would say if you have the compassion, a lot of these things you can develop over time. If you really want to go into this field, I would talk to different dental hygienists or talk to dentists and see, what is it really like? Because I think I'm interested.
Oops. Sorry. Okay. So licenses, certifications, and registrations. So again, all hygienists be licensed, and in most states it has to be from an accredited hygiene program, which Foothill is. And you need to have good grades. You take a lot of written tests and do a lot of clinical examinations to test your skills to make sure that you are certified to be able to do this in real life on real people.
The salary it's actually quite good. Some people are surprised to learn this. The hourly wage in California, it's approximately $65 an hour, but it's actually going up a little bit because ever since the pandemic, there's actually been a little bit of a healthcare shortage. There's also the baby boomer generation is retiring from the workforce, and they're the biggest generation. So there's a lot of people that need to be taken care of. There's a lot of people leaving the workforce. So healthcare in particular, there's a big demand for dental hygienists and healthcare workers in general, which also means the pay is actually going up. So it's a good career if you're looking at salary.
Oh, Christian, you can take this one too.
I feel like I just said this. I just walked all over the slide. So yeah, employment rates are climbing. It's estimated in the next decade, it's basically going up 6%. And I think I basically just said this.
Okay, I'll go to the next slide. So could the Foothill Dental Hygiene program be right for you? So what's really cool about our program is that it's super diverse amongst the students and the staff. And a lot of the students, they're able to speak second and third languages, which I think is super beneficial as a hygienist because you're able to communicate with your patients better if English isn't their first language. So that's really cool. A lot of students, they seek further education and degrees after graduation. And so, yeah, a lot of them go into teaching. which is really nice too. And if you've never worked in a dental office, don't worry, you don't need to have any experience to apply. And sometimes it's good to not have any prior dental experience, because then you're just an open book and you just like a sponge and absorb everything that you learn. Next slide.
So Foothill College is definitely much more affordable, which means you really want to get good grades if you're seriously considering going into dental hygiene or any career, because you want the options to be able to choose a school that has a lower price tag for tuition. Foothill, I paid off all my student debt in a couple months of working. But if you go to a private school, same curriculum, same degree, same license, you're going to pay a lot more.
Oops. Sorry. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Are you done? Sorry.
Yeah. I know, I'm looking at the clock, like going a little faster.
Okay. So the requirements, so since Foothill's program is you do get a bachelor's degree. It is a 4-year process. So you need to do 2 years of your prereqs with your GEs. And then after that, the hygiene program consists of being a full-time student for those last 2 years. So then it's 4 years total. And it's super competitive to get in the program, just because, like what Christian said, it's just overall, it's just a great program and has a very good reputation, and everyone wants to get in. So, and we do not have a wait list like some other colleges do. And the next slide.
So what's great about our program, it's CODA approved. It's approved by the Dental Hygiene Board of California. This class size is actually pretty small, only 24 students. We manage your curriculum, so you don't have to worry about which class do I have to take now. We tell you, take this class, and I'll see you next quarter. And there's a low faculty-student ratio, which means there's a lot of faculty basically to support you in clinic and in your lectures. There's a lot of faculty. And you qualify to take all your licensing exams, which we actually help you take and sign up for. So it's a great school because we really foster you through the whole process until you get your license.
So there are many scholarships available for you to apply to. So these are some examples. And a lot of times students don't apply for it. So if you do apply for it, you have a very good chance of getting it. So
yeah, very true.
Okay, next slide.
Those are graduates. You can see how small the class size is. They're all working now.
Oh, go ahead.
So a great way to figure out if you might want to go into dentistry is just to talk to people in dentistry. So I would recommend going to a dental hygiene school just for a cleaning. If you're a Foothill College student, it's free. Otherwise, it's actually still pretty cheap. So if you have any interest, talk to us, come get a cleaning at our school or another school. Just ask lots of questions, whatever career you go into. And these are just some contact information if you just want to email or look at our website. Oh, and then lastly, whatever you do, this chart I always found really helpful to try to pick a career based on what you just love doing, what the world needs, can I get paid for it, and what are you good at? So if you think about that, I think you'll find your place in the world.
Okay.
And that's it.
Perfect timing at 7 o'clock. I didn't know if anybody had any questions from the audience. I don't see anything in the Q&A or the chat. This is the time to do it. And just so you know, this is being recorded, so you could always reach out to the College and Career Center for the recording and or for any questions or concerns that we can definitely put you in contact with anybody or the staff members at Foothill College, indeed. Let me see here, just a few more minutes. Let me see. Oh, there's something in the Q&A. Let me see. Oh, they're asking, what classes do you recommend kids take in high school for your program?
Do you have any feedback, Ali? I would say, well, you think.
Yeah.
I would say, I hate to confess this, but I was not good at sciences when I was in high school.
Me too.
I was good at math. And I think part of the reason is because I had really, really good math teachers. So I loved math. But when I went to college, I started having really bad math teachers. And then I had really good science teachers. And my focus shifted because I fell in love with science because I found it interesting all of a sudden. So in my experience, I wasn't great at sciences, but if I were to answer that question directly, I would say probably the sciences. But if you're not interested in science right now because you're still young, that's okay. Because when you get to college, you're basically a clean slate. And all the prerequisites you take before getting into the program will prepare you for the program. So what happens in high school is not necessarily critical. But I think if I had to say anything to help you prepare in high school, I would say just being a good student. So having good study habits, having a schedule, understanding that your social life needs to take a back seat if you really want something really bad for your career. You need to get good grades to go into a lot of healthcare fields. So I think just understanding what it takes to study hard and to get really good grades is important.
Yeah, and they're saying also, she was asking maybe anatomy. We do offer anatomy at Mountain View High School. I think, yeah, why not, right?
Yeah, that would probably prepare you. I think even if you have to take the college anatomy, if you already had anatomy and you know your bones and your muscles, it would probably just be like a review. So it would probably help you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
anatomy's tough in college.
Yeah.
Lots of memorizing.
So they're also asking if for dental hygiene degree, did you have to take history and other classes for general ed? Yeah, I will say so.
I know when I took dental hygiene, it was still an associate degree and I had a bachelor's from somewhere else. So I had to take a lot of that for my bachelor's. But when I went for my associate degree in dental hygiene, that wasn't the case. Do you know, Ali, is it now required that you have to have some of those classes?
I also got some of my classes transferred over from Davis. So I think so, because all of that got transferred over. So I think it's Parker G's. Yeah. I could be wrong.
Sometimes a lot of the degrees like dental hygiene, they're very specific on what you need to take in terms of you need to have college English and you need to take very specific sciences. So in terms of the history classes, I'm not exactly sure if they would help you get units towards the program.
Correct. Well, thank you, Christian, Ali, and Truck for joining us tonight. This concludes tonight's presentation. For any questions, you can reach out to Ms. Heather Lowe at the College and Career Center. We'll be closing this session at this time. Thank you and have a good night. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, Christian. Bye, Ali.
Thank you, Chuck.
Bye.